Hello, one and all. Good evening. How you doing? Welcome to the Sunday Live here on the Astroflower. So, how's your week been? I hope it's been well. Energy's sort of like moving on, getting on. Oh, I've realised now I've got to turn that off, that sound, because otherwise it'll annoy me. I won't be able to do anything. So yeah, we had quite a few questions in this week's readings, in the messages from energy and so forth. It was quite a few questions, so I thought I'd sort of like address them. If you've got any questions, obviously you can ask them in the comment section. Just drop us a question in there. It's lovely to see. And yeah, we can go into anything concerning sort of that you might have seen in any of the readings and so forth, anything to do with energy as well, and that sort of thing. But I wanted to ask a question because there was one thing I sort of said, and I've forgotten what it was exactly, what video it was connected to, which reading it was connected to. The person may be able to remind me. Let me just see if I can find it as well. Something about how getting, I think it was a Scorpio video actually, about how we get in a line with you know, and I was talking about getting in alignment with energies and so forth. I'm just looking it up now. Was it in Scorpio? No, it wasn't in Scorpio. Or was it? Hang on a second. Oh, yes, it was in Scorpio. It was Happy 11. Hello, Happy 11. I hope you're here, Happy 11. Let me just have a look, see. Let me see on the things. Hello, Kim. How you doing? Welcome. Let me just change it over so I can get the comments in there as well. There you go. There we go. We've got the comments as well. So Happy 11, which is lovely. Happy 11 sort of made a comment on, let me just find it now. Where are we? I'll find it in a second. No, I won't. I'll try and find it in a second. Here it is. And it was on Scorpio. It was on Scorpio, so I was right. Happy 11 was asking about sort of like when I went into the spiritual front and I spoke about the awakening, and I wanted to say awakening into the idea of understanding of our connection to vibration, energy that is around you, and so forth. I think this is going to be the most important thing going forward into this new consciousness. Otherwise, unfortunately, it will make it a bit difficult for people to fully grasp what we're going into. Frisia, how you doing? Tina, lovely to see you. Lynn, beautiful. May, how you doing? And that's JB. So JB, Happy 11, I guess. Yes, and Julie, hello, how you doing? How's everyone doing? Good to see you all here. So I saw somewhere you do personal readings but cannot find how to do this. Can you advise, please? So for May, yeah, sure. You'll find in the description below, if you click on the link tree, you'll be able to see all the different types of readings that I do for people. So, you know, yeah, any sort of one you want to, you want to pick. If you can't find it, let me just, you know, I'll email me on theastroflower@gmail.com, and I'll send you any links that you may need in order to book up something. It'd be lovely to see you. Yes, hello, Julie. So Julie says hi. Hello, everyone. Only here a few minutes. Got husband's knee operation, 7 a.m. in the morning. Oh, blimey. Okay, quick one on that one, Julie. Okay, in French, the word for knee is genou, which is to do with the I and the us. Is he, you know, is it a left knee as well? It feels like. Is that right? Am I getting that right? Left knee? You know, does he feel a bit out of sync with the world administratively in regards to his job and everything like that? You know, that's quite well be possible. So, and a bit of a pivotal moment for him, I think. Hello, Coral. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Did you find it then, May? Excellent. In that case, I'll be seeing you soon. Yes. So I think the JB. I'm now going to call you JB. It's the right one, is it? Okay. I'm getting the left one, but you know it could be okay. So if it's the right one, how's his is he finding it difficult to enjoy life with other people at the moment? Maybe that's possible. Shirley, how you doing? Lovely to see you. You know, Coral, you're looking for a house to move, aren't you? If I remember rightly. So I did say in the comments there about sort of like if you find your destination, it's a lot easier to sell your property. I've always found that, and I find that it helps for a lot of people and so forth. But JB, this is, you know, we will be coming back to that in a minute, JB. Greetings. This is from Olivia. So, greetings. Since I've been led to catch your live naturally, I've asked the question today: what is the general energy in love and finance currently that I need to know? So, what sign are you again, Olivia? It's Jackie, is it? JB. So, yes. Yes, taking a few steps back. Lumpy left knee too. Got a lumpy left knee too, has he? Oh, well, you know, as I say, it's how you put the I in the us when usually the stress related behind knee issues. Okay. Vita, lovely to see you. Yes, we will get on to you, Olivia, but you're going to have to give me a little bit more sort of details on that. Oh, you're Virgo. Okay, that was your, oh, right, that was your question, wasn't it? That was your question. I'll ask a question today. What is the general energy in love and finances currently that I need to know? Okay, Jackie, I will be coming to that thing because obviously this is what we're supposed to be talking about. But I did say to Olivia that I would be answering that question. Okay, so let's just have a look. Let's connect to that energy there. We've got that energy there. We can see the morphic fields. See what's going on there. Okay, in love, it's this is for you. It's for you particularly, Olivia. Okay, it seems like you're scared to enjoy yourself. It's like you don't want to get it wrong. That's what it feels like on the love sort of thing. And it may be that you're overthinking things too much. And sometimes you just got to let it happen and just, you know, take that leap of faith and allow love to happen. So, you know, don't worry about making mistakes. We all make mistakes. And I'll tell you what, sometimes there's a beauty in making mistakes as well, Olivia. It's like that's what relationships are all about. So when we do make mistakes, our partner is there to sort of kind of go, no, you're right, you know, and then pick me up, sort of thing. You know, so you know that sort of thing. I've definitely just go easy on yourself. Don't worry about it. You've got nothing to prove. Just enjoyment to be had. And you know, if the person doesn't get you, it's fine. That's great. Then that means you're not supposed to be with that person. It's a bullet. You're dodging a bullet then. Okay. On the financial sort of side, the financial side it's the opposite. It's almost as if like you're trying too hard. You're not enjoying it as much as you should be. And if you're trying to get a job or anything like that, it may be a case of like that you're really just trying too hard. And you know, it should be fun, even work. And at the end of the day, once you start doing something that you absolutely adore, you never work another day in your life. There's no one, but I'm afraid I'm particular. Yeah, I think we're all very particular. You know, I think everybody here at the Astroflower would all turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm particular. I'm very particular to get along with." And that's the beauty of it. Surely, that's the beauty of meeting other people because they're very particular. You know, so I wouldn't worry about that. You know, get out there. It's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all. I think that's probably the onus behind it. got the house neighbour. So is that good for you, Olivia? I hope so. I'll tell you what. Let's pick you a card, shall we? Just to sort of like, you know, sort of say sorry, as it were. Hang on a second. And then, oh, blimey, a bit far away. Oh, what a palaver. Let's pick a card for you then, Olivia. Blimey, you're practically getting a personal reading. Wow. Okay, so this is on your financial side. You've got to realise how, you don't have to try to prove to everything around you. You've got to recognise how good you are. And people will recognise that within you. On your love side, yeah, this is 7 of, stop trying to cultivate love and allow it to happen. Okay. Coral, got the house neighbour interfering with the sale of mine. Is it really? That is so annoying. Wow. That's okay, Olivia. Absolute pleasure. That is pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying. Email me your address and I'll try and help with the energy of that. Okay, because obviously you don't want that. I understand those sort of situations, and it can be a bit of a pain in the backside. So, so there we go. I think we've done a nice bit of housekeeping there. All very intense. So let's get on to what I wanted to talk to today, and I was talking about the energies of how we connect with the energies and how it's going to become incredibly important going forward in this new consciousness as things progress and society and the powers that were who think they're governing the place become more and more insignificant to everything. Oh, blimey, he's been stalking you for 2 years, has he? Blimey. So as the powers that be, and I think as society as well, as the old structures, because of this new consciousness, as it all sort of like fades away, understanding the flow of energy and being connected to that energy is going to be really important. Jackie was asking in particular, how do we do that? I have got workshops at the moment in the UK that are coming up at the end of October, beginning of November in Brighton, in Wells, in Somerset, and also in Kirby Longsdale up by Lancashire. That's the ultimate thing to be. If you want to come on the workshops, you're more than welcome. You'll find links in the descriptions. It's finding our connection it's a combination of several things. And this is where we can start using our energy in a very particular way, where we use our physical body to make the connection. That's where the ultimate connection comes into play. If you look at your body as being like a radio, and you're tuning into radio stations within the frequencies and the vibrations that are around you. Okay? Link, for the workshops, are they not in the description? Let me have a look. They should be in the description. Yeah, they should be in the description. You can find, there's 3 links there. It's for where you can book up off of Brighton, Wells, and Kirby Longsdale. You can find them in the description. It's the first connection is the physical body. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. Lovely to see you here. Thank you very much, Kevin, for all your support. It really is an absolute, godsend. Thank you very much, my friend. So your physical body is a little bit like the antenna. If you think of your bone structure as being the antenna, the aerial, because calcium, which is obviously you get a lot in your bone structure, is actually a form of metal. So that's the initial sort of antenna that's picking up the vibrations, and then within that, it also then gets textured via your organs and so forth, or your muscles and what have you. And then it gets a little bit more sort of, even more sort of streamlined. No worries, Jackie. Streamlined by your chakra system. And the chakra system seems to be like the culmination of those connections all together. So you can actually read your body within the connection with the energies. You can also read your chakra system, but you can also read your emotions and so forth. And once you start using your sort of kundalini, your body really does become like the stereo. So you don't, when you're listening to a stereo, you don't concentrate on the stereo. The stereo just does what it's got to do. You can forward it, turn it up, the volume, turn the volume down, and etc. You don't have to concentrate on looking at the stereo, but you can do. It depends on how important it is for you. Once you get that connection there, this is where it becomes really important, and it really helps you out. It's almost like, energy becomes the greatest guide you could ever have, even more so than the guides which make up our soul. Because the soul is made up of 6 different spirits. You're the one spirit that's driving the body. And then you have 5 spirits, which are equivalent of guides. Some of them are for the mental or the spiritual sort of side, and some of them are for the physical sort of side, and one of them is connected to source, as it were. And yeah, they do help us out enormously, but they don't, a lot of the time, the spirits guides don't really, their job is to be paying attention to what's going on around. They shouldn't really be chatting to you. Really, they should just be doing their job and looking after you. And I find personally, this is my own personal experience. I find it much more enjoyable, much more productive getting my advice from energy, because it has this sort of, you imagine it's like a thunderbolt that tries to find the quickest and most efficient way to go from one point to another. And that's what energy does. So this is where the whole common sense thing comes into play. It helps us enormously, once we're connected with energy, to act through that common sense. And once we get into the common sense, that's when you start then being in alignment with other people who are also working with common sense. And the people who are not working with common sense, you just won't even connect with them anymore. And I think that's what's going to be more and more important in the future. I think a lot of people who do not have the capacity to understand that there's something far greater than us within all of this sort of thing, I think they're going to find themselves very lost and a little bit crazy. So question in here from Tina. You can ask questions anytime you like. Jump in. No worries. Otherwise I will just babble on for hours. So when I meditate, my body feels like electric vibration runs through it. My arms tingle really intensely. That's like it's your kundalini. What you're starting to do is you're starting to notice the stereo. So if you're on an FM stereo, you can do very slight increments to really fine tune in your body. And yeah, you will feel that. You will feel those sort of sensations. The question is what are those sensations trying to tell you more than anything else? It's how do you convert those sensations into a certain reality that you can understand and that is also constructive for you when you're trying to live your life. Like meditation for me is like, when you can do meditation and so forth and you get your eyes closed and everything like that. and you do that sort of meditation that just cuts off everything, which is really nice. But that's like just finding a neutral place. I think Buddha understood that the idea behind meditation is meditation should be a state of being that you live your life by. So everything you do in the future becomes a meditative state. So I say the best type of meditation is when you've got your eyes open buying cheese at the market. And so life becomes a meditation. And I think that's, once you start connecting with your body through a sort of a meditative sort of state, having that sort of, was it 7 hertz sort of frequency within your brain? Once you can get that, and also be, and what I want to say is normal, or be normal in life and continue on normal life, then all of a sudden things will really take off for you. How do you get this common sense? How do you get this common sense? Well, it's like common law. Common law is it's basically, if you ask 100 people if they think this is correct or not, if you get the majority of people sort of saying this is correct, then that's the law. You don't need to go through and do loads of things. You can it's common sense. And there is a common sense that within human beings that we don't commit, that we don't end other people's lives. I think that's pretty common sense in most people's thinking. And I think that common sense is going to come through rather than being, sort of extraordinary or extreme ideas. I think we're going to come back to some things that are very much more sort of down to earth and very, straightforward. And I think that's what the common sense is all about. And once we can get that sort of common sense, all of a sudden, I think life can become incredibly productive in a lot of different things. Interpretation of the energy and listening, says Frisia. Yes, not quite sure if I understood. You'll have to feather that out a little bit. Interpretation of energy and listening. Okay, so it's an interpretation of how you listen to your body. So when I do these workshops, so basically on my workshops, and I've done it for quite literally thousands of people over the last 30 years, and there's no one who doesn't. I think over all that time, I think I've only had 2 people who just did not get it. Apart from that, everybody seems to get it. It seems to be pretty straightforward, as it were. And we do a lot of experiments. Experiments basically in groups, and I do it in a way that the people who participate in the workshops, they can't see what other people are doing, or they don't know what other people are doing, although they may be standing right next to them. And then once we finish the exercise, people open, then because I make everybody close their eyes and etc., and they're not allowed to say anything. And when we open up, people look around and they realize that everybody's doing a similar sort of thing of what they're doing. And this is where getting in alignment with energy, once you give over to it, it's like energy has its own common sense. It's not that there's no extremes within it. It doesn't have an agenda either. I tried. What did you try, Kim? You tried to meditate, did you? I'm not too sure what the what did you try about, Kim? Connecting to the energy, asking a question. Did you ask a question? I didn't see it. I do apologize if I didn't see it. So that's where the common sense sort of comes from, Jackie. It sort of like comes from a knowing that you don't even have to question. You don't even have to sort of spend your time going, is that right or wrong? And it's not whether it's right or wrong. It's It's basic questions like should I or shouldn't I? It's it's once you understand that, should I or shouldn't I, then therefore you should just go ahead and do it, and whatever it is. So I'm intrigued what the Kim. I'm intrigued what did you try? I tried to link. I tried to your link tree. It doesn't work, does it? It's not working. Is it not working? Is it not working, Kim? Oh, blimey! Do you know what? I wish I, you know, as much as I do stuff with energy and stuff like that, I can be really bad at computers. I'd have to have a look into that. It doesn't work, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Okay, well, I'll have to sort that out. I will put in new links into the videos. You'll be able to go back into any other video, this live or any of the weekly readings last week, and even the messages from energy. I will get it sorted so there's all the links are there in the future. Okay, so yeah, to link to your link tree, just connect straight to a tree, I think, more than anything else. I sent an email. Did you? You didn't get through to it either, did they? Right, okay, fine, fair enough. Blimey, technology. Who was complaining about technology? Was it Lynn? Were you complaining about technology? Yeah, in a similar sort of thing there. Okay, well, I'll have to get the link tree sorted out. I thought it was all working, but obviously it's not. So I'll get that sorted at some point. I do apologise, everybody. Just first time I've known of really what that's all about. So the interpretation. Let's get back to what the interpretation of energy and listening. If I'm getting it right, when I'm doing the workshops, some people tend to push their energies much more higher. Some other people tend to pull their energies much more lower. So, and I say higher and lower, I don't mean that that's better and worse. It's not what I mean. It's like some people are a lot more mechanical, a lot more grounded. Other people are a lot more Aryan and mental. And I mean mental as in sort of like, mental energies. So, and you can see that very much when people are doing the workshops. And over the weekend, everybody gradually gets to the same level where everyone's tuning in. The people who are a little bit too grounded get a little bit more Aryan, and the people who are too Aryan get a little bit more grounded. And all of a sudden, we start getting the same answers, regardless of who you are and where you're from and everything like that. And that's what the common sense is all about. That's what connecting to energy is all about. It's going to make decisions for you all by yourself. I'm forgiven, am I? Thank you very much, May. Oh, you're too kind. I'm glad you sent an email. So yes, it's the interpretation of listening. After a while, there's no real interpretation. It becomes the way it is. With the workshops, and especially when I start doing the workshops on chakras and auras and stuff like that, and help people to see auras and stuff like that, and certainly douse auras and chakras and feel it. That's what we do on some of the workshops. Once you start getting onto that and start working on that, it becomes there's so many cross-point checkpoints, as it were, that it's difficult to have an interpretation that's not really what's happening on there. Okay, so how do you get to a place where when you get okay, so this is from Jackie. So how do you get to a place where when you get inspiration, where you trust it to just do it without hesitation? This is on my other channel, Cymatic TV. The strapline was "Don't believe, just know," and it's like I suppose it's been like being a kid, really. When you go on that bicycle, for the first time when you go on a bicycle, you're kind of you're not sure whether you're a bit, and you're going to have accidents on that bicycle. You're going to fall off and everything like that. But after a while, You get on it and you don't even think about it. You just go ahead and do it. And you know, and it's through practice, and that's why I do the workshops. It's through practice and engagement that, you know, it becomes second nature. So you don't even ask the question in the future. You just kind of go, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know, and yeah, it's I wouldn't say that hesitation. Usually, the way it works, really, usually the first intention tends to be the right intention. You know, it may need clarification, that first intention, but after a while, once you start kind of going, well, I can feel my body, I can feel part of my body that's speaking to me, I can see a little bit of the energy that's going on. I can also feel that Aryan energy, that sort of electric sort of energy that I'm now getting the inner vision as well. Okay, I can now see the coincidences of the things that are happening around me. You can't deny it anymore. And this is what I talk about, the fact that in life there is no real choices. The choices are an illusion, usually set up by people who want to, take your power away from you by, by choice, by a political choice or a religious choice or so forth. Oh, Suli, you're late. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've all been waiting for you, Suli. What's been going on? Welcome. That'll be that champagne, wouldn't it? So, it's once you start getting all of these connections that work together within one and within harmony, yeah, okay, practice, bummer, still, still a Scorpio. Yeah, it's like anything in life. But then again, you know, if when we were children, I mean, babies, and we started learning to work, we didn't just kind of try and walk once and then kind of didn't work and then just gave up. I think it's going to become so essential part of life that we won't be able to, the practice part is the joyous part. It's really enjoyable. It's huge amounts of fun, Jackie, and it's incredibly invigorating and inspiring. Learning, and because you're learning about yourself more than anything else. That's the main thing. And that's the main thing on the workshops. The people who come on the workshops, they learn so much about themselves, and they learn so much of how, as each of us works as individuals, how I work as an individual. That's the whole point of the workshops. In the workshops, I sort of say to people, I don't teach people something. What I do is I help people to learn. And once you know how to learn, you can learn anything you want. There's nothing that's going to hold you back. So eventually, I don't want people to be dependent upon me in order to find the solutions. That's not the point. The point is to help people to learn. So it's like learning to read a particular language. Once you can read a particular language, you can learn anything you want out of books and so forth. I will keep telling myself that I am having fun. Why is it not having fun? Why are you not having? Because are you trying too hard? Stop trying too hard. That's one of the biggest things that hold people back. Trying too hard. So don't try too hard. It should be fun. Life should be fun. And getting it wrong, every time you get it wrong, you will learn something. So do not worry about getting it wrong. In fact, getting it wrong is a blessing, or will be a blessing. Oh, it worked for you, Kim, did it? Hey, woo! So I am forgiven then. Jackie wanted the link, and I tried to put it in the chat. Oh, you couldn't put it in the chat? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Can I put the link tree in there? Let me see if I can put the link tree in there. Let me find it. Where is it? There it is there. Let me try and help out with this. Copy link. And paste. And it won't let me do it. You're very right, Kim. It won't let us do it. I think it's because it takes you away from YouTube. YouTube's very particular, aren't they? Sometimes they really are. Nature listens. The links to the workshops are in the description. Seem to be working okay. They are. I know. Thank you, by the way, Anna, for giving me a heads up because I got one of the links wrong. But yes, those links are they should be working okay. And I tell you what, everybody who comes on the workshops walk away at the end of the weekend with they're just kind of going, oh my word, I'm seeing the world in a completely different way. You know, and people do, and it's a real revelation or an awakening of the Kundalini. Every time people come on my workshops, it is awakening of their inner Kundalini, and it's their waking of their Kundalini. Then kind of like all of a sudden, when it wakes up, it kind of goes ding, and you're kind of going, oh, I now see. I now can see. And you know, you can see energies, and you can do lots and lots of different things. So you know, okay. So you know, yes, Tim. No, Tina. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, I do apologise, Tina. I'm still trying to find where I'm blocked. Maybe you can help me there. Okay, Tina. Let's have a quick look. I'll see what's going on with you. If you just relax. Okay. It seems to be in the solar plexus more than anything else. I think. Are you? Do you lack confidence um, in your own judgment? Is that what it is? You know, is that what you know? Sometimes it's like kind of going, really? Can it be that simple? Can it be that easy? Yeah, it can be. You know, and sometimes we try and look for something that's a lot more complicated than it actually is. So, Lynn, I've learned to trust the process without fear. Excellent. Made life-changing decisions, not knowing the outcome. However, the deepest knowing I had to do it. Well, it's life is for living, isn't it? That's all it is. You know, in French, they say proprietor, they say propriétaire. When you break it into three different words, you've got propre, which means clean, and pre, which means taken, and then terre, which means earth. So everything that we have in this world, every single thing, regardless of what it is, at some point comes from the earth. So therefore, we don't own anything. So therefore, in life, there is literally nothing to win in life, right? And if there's nothing to win, then it means there's nothing to lose either. And that's when you can kind of go, do you know what? I'm actually just going to live life and trust it. And once you do trust it, you know, it doesn't mean things are going to be perfect. That's not what it means. It's going to be. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy either. But it's learning. It's learning those connections and so forth with the energies. That once you do have those connections, the impossible starts to become possible. So yes, Tina. So um, um, link work this time. Thank you. Okay, yeah, it's good. Good links working. Good for you, Tina. So you're saying yes. You confidence. So confidence. This is how I explain confidence. This is how confidence works. It doesn't just drop out of the sky. Okay, it doesn't. It's not something that just falls out of the heavens. Confidence is something that we cultivate. Okay, and cultivating that is trusting that first thing, the first instinct, and going and trying it and doing it. When it works, then you will have the confidence to do it again. If it doesn't work exactly, then you can kind of go, okay, so now I can start seeing where my interpretation or my sensation of the energy is slightly off, which is taking me a little bit skewed to the final result. So if you imagine you're crossing the Atlantic on a boat, if you start off from, let's just say you're starting off from the UK and you're going to the Caribbean, because why would you bother going anywhere else in the world? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vita. But you know, if I was to change that course by 1 degree, by the time I get over to the Americas, it's going to be wildly off to where I want it to be, even just by changing it by 1 degree. And so, you know, it's that whole sort of thing that once we start learning to trust, because sometimes with energy, okay, so if you get the energy and you're kind of sort of saying, yes, I've got to do this, and then part of your body sort of says, well, hang on, what about that? And that's that whole sort of discussion before it even gets to your brain. Okay, this is the important part. We'll leave the brain till later. The beginning part is just finding the ingredients of a decision. Okay, so you're feeling this, you're seeing this type of energy, you've got this physical sensation within your bodies, you've got this this what's going on around you, coincidences, it could be even sort of birds singing and so forth. Once you start getting into those and connecting all of those sort of dots, you will have some parts that are going to be sort of saying yes, and some parts that have been saying no. Okay, and then it's for you to then, within your logical mind, to kind of go, okay, so the stomach says this, the heart says this, therefore logically I should be doing this. And that's when there's no choice. And that's when you can get the best of both worlds. So you're not living in fear, but you're taking the understanding that there's part of your body, there's part of your guides, there's part of your energy, there's part of something that's sort of saying to you, yes, if you're going to do this, but be careful of this. So I'm going to be careful of that, but I'm not going to focus on that because that's not my destination. If you focus on it, that's when you risk to be ending up with that thing and you'll be disappointed. So once you start getting on and start doing it, then you've got the confidence to do it again. So confidence is about sort of, it's something that we cultivate. And sometimes we cultivate it by banging our head against the wall. You know what I mean? I think we've all experienced the whole idea of kind of trying something. It's like, it doesn't work. Kind of going, oh, give up. You know, you walk away, you're doing something else, and you kind of think, oh, thanks, then. What if I do it like that? And then all of a sudden it works. You know, so it's that sort of thing. The thing that could be blocking you is, you know, not being able to trust, because maybe if you allow your mind to get involved too early in the process, it tends to sort of kind of create a lot of doubt, and then once you get that doubt installed, you're not going to be able to hear the rest, and that's when you're going to lose confidence in doing something. So you know, that's what's happening. So yeah, so, and I think it's excuse me a second. Excuse me. I hope that's not too loud. So you know, this confidence can change ultimately if you start on something that's really small, that doesn't really have major consequences in your life or people's lives around you, and that's when you'll find you don't bang your head so much on the walls and stuff like that. So Vita, what are you saying? Would we have the same kind of experience from taking your course online when they do become available? I'm in the US. Do you know what? You get the ingredients, you get the mechanics in order to make that decision. Yes, and I think you know, if you, you know, the way I'm trying to set it up, and this is why this is why I want to do the workshops first over in the UK. But the way in which I can set it up is the fact that there's follow up, that when you go off and doing your homework or doing the work with energy, It's going to be you can correlate it with other people, and it may take a little bit more of a time. It's either that or I come over to the States, one or the t'other, which I would much prefer. Excuse me a second. There you go. Yeah, so I think you do get exactly you do get everything that you need on the workshops online in order to understand it. It's the practice days that I would like to do, and that's why at some point I've definitely got to come over to the States. Got to go traveling around the world, basically. Have to I'll have to get a yacht. I love sailing anyway, so go wandering off around the world would be absolutely beautiful. But can you get the same thing as when you're in person? We can definitely do things online. Experiences that we can do online on the online workshops, so we can do it live, and you will get the same understanding. You will definitely get the same understanding. But yes, I do need to go to the United States. Sully, so since I woke up this morning, there's a song in there somewhere, I felt that my crown chakra is quite active. Is this normal occurrence, or should I be concerned that I might be on the verge of a stroke? I'd like you to go to your local GP and say go there in the sitting room, and then when you go into his office, say, yeah, look, doc, it's my crown chakra. I just want to know, am I going to have a stroke? it'd be very funny. It's probably because this is that shift in consciousness. It's almost like like Rodin mathematics. Let me just find that for you. Rodin mathematics. Rodin mathematics is really interesting. And it's all to do with the infinity and stuff like that. Let me just let me download something, and I'll upload it on the video. So let me just need to do a quick bit of here it is here. Okay, let me just get an image of that. No, that's not it. Let me just load up another image. Here we go. Oh, didn't want me to do that. Okay, road of mathematics. There we go. Let me just bring that up. Right, here it is. Yes, I'm going to be able to do that now. Let me just bring this image up for you here. I finally got it. This is called Rodin mathematics. Okay, so what you got here is, if you look at this, you've got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and it goes in this sort of there's that figure of 8, which is the infinity sign, if you like. And number 9 is the pinnacle number, where everything goes to 9. So it's 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, which is 1 and 8, which is 9, 27, 9, 36, 36, 9, 45, 9, 54, 9. It always goes back to 9. That's what, so it's the king pin sort of thing. And it's what it's saying to me here, Suli, is a little bit like the crown chakra at the moment is acting like that number 9 that brings everything back. into its vertical point, into our raison d'être of living, because that's what it's all about. Living our raison d'être is really important, and our reason for being, and it could well be that, um, last time I checked, I don't think you'll be having a stroke as yet, Suli. Okay. So Lynn says here, I agree. This was the process when left my home, marriage, and state. I moved to the other side of the country with a suitcase, but the confidence that I am on the right path. It's difficult to explain inner knowing until you do it. It's like I can explain to you how to ride a bicycle, but until you've actually got on a bicycle and actually ridden it, you won't know what it's actually fully like, as it were. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay, so Jackie said, if someone has health issues, how would they remove blockages so that hang on a second, so that they could move into a healthy body? Because as is the physical body is a distraction. So how do I get past that? Well, I'm doing videos at the moment from my healing channel because I want to keep things a little bit separate. So I'm reactivating Cymatic TV, and that's going to be much more the scientific stuff to do with the sun, stuff like that. And then I'm going to have healing by Tom, and so healing is a very so when you have a physical issue within your body, it's usually like the last port of call of an issue. So once you get into alignment with energy, you're never really ill. You've never got any health issues because you're avoiding them, because your body is, you're doing what you should be doing. So then you avoid health issues. And let's be absolutely clear about this. Health issues, they're not just pure energy, and it's not just pure emotion, and it's not just pure physical. It's a combination usually of the three things, of how those three aspects intertwine with one another. So let's just say your energy is telling you not to do a certain activity. Your emotional side is telling you not to do a certain activity, but your emotional side is sort of saying yes, do that activity. But your body is also saying no, don't do that activity. But you're only listening to the emotional side of life. Your body will end up shouting at you, and you will get physical issues that come out of it. So health can be a multitude of different reasons behind health issues. Some of it can be to do with age as well. You know what I mean? None of us getting any younger. And none of us are spring chickens. Well, there might be some spring chickens out there. I don't know. But it's understanding those three connections and putting them together, that it comes out in a balanced point of view, so then therefore you avoid any complications, health issues, and problems for the future. As is the physical body is a distraction. No, it's not. Without the physical body, you won't be able to experience anything. When I had my near-death experience, because I didn't have the physical body anymore, I couldn't have any emotions. And we can only have emotions because we've got the physical body. So once you pass over from this world to the next world, it's just pure peace because there's no emotions. So I don't think the body is just a distraction. I think it's a beautiful instrument, a very complex instrument lent to us by the earth, that we will have to give back at some point to the earth, to dust and all of that malarkey, and it is an incredibly, really an amazing tool that we can use when connecting to energy. So I wouldn't agree that it's a distraction. It can be ultimately. What's the health issue, Jackie? If maybe you need to book up a session. Really, I don't know. Okay, so Frisia, if anyone is doing exams dowsing specific pages and hang chapters, and I'm saying, what's that? Okay, so if anyone is doing exams dowsing specific pages and chapters of books can really help. Yeah, totally. That's that whole sort of thing. Yeah, I can go along with that one and guide you to what you need to know. Do you know what? It's very similar to the Archaic Library, that sort of thing. Up to the test. Amazing when you practice and get it right. Saves you hours. Certainly does. I totally get that. I totally go along with that phrase. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Tina, thank you, Tom. I really needed to hear that. Hear it clearly. Makes sense. Good. Excellent. Be gentle on yourself as well, Tina. You know what I mean? Perfection doesn't actually exist. It only existed in the first inhalation and the last exhalation. It's the only moment that it really truly does exist. But I'm happy that you got things sorted there. Kim, Kim, you're in New Mexico. Where are you? Okay, yeah, so yeah. I think she's in Florida. Isn't she Florida? I'm not too sure. I'm sure she'll tell you. You should have a great week then. Yes, Sully, you'll have a great week. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Trying to figure out the rest. It felt more like a dark night of the soul for me, and as if am I jumping in the middle of a conversation here, Vita? Sorry. And if everything was falling apart, I came to understand that it was all in preparation of what is now becoming. This is it. There's some things that we don't. This is why you should never really ask the question why, because the problem is why we only understand the why in retrospection. It's like sort of kind of going, why is this happening to me? Oh, and 5 years down the line, you kind of go, yeah, I know why that happened to me. It becomes really obvious. So, 55-year-old spring chicken. Good. Yeah. Yeah, all part of that same sort of thing. I'm a spring chicken, almost 62. Right. Yeah, we're all spring chickens. Yeah, I'm a spring chicken too. So, I'm a 72er myself. I'm not a 70. Hang on, no. I was in year 72, so I'm 50 something. I can't even remember myself anymore. What is it? I'm going to be 53 this year. So yeah, you know what I mean. Okay. Yes, years of emotional wars have done a number on me. Really? Well, there is in a healing session, you can clear away the emotional connections to your memories. I can't get rid of the memories because that's not a good idea. It's always good to have your memories, regardless of whether they're good or bad. But to disconnect the emotions connected to those memories will allow you then in the future to kind of go, oh yeah, last time it was a right old pain in the backside. It really didn't work. Therefore, I'm going to do it like that. You know what I mean? Rather than kind of going, oh no, it really happened really badly last time, and I'm not gonna do it. In the future, it'll be a lot easier for you to confront things once you take off the emotions that are attached to previous traumas and stuff like that. And once you can do that, and it's pretty straightforward to do. in a session. It's really straightforward to do, but we'd have to go through each thing, you know. Um, so we're all spring chickens here. I'll tell you what, you know what I mean. We're you know, Colonel Sanders would be very happy with our slot, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Happening to me versus happening what? Happening to me versus happening for me. That's a nice phrase. I like that. Happening to me is yeah, happening to me versus happening for me. Yeah, I like that, Lynn. Yeah. Um, Colin, how you doing? Alaska. Wow, great energies up that way. Lot of earthquakes going up in the way of Alaska's region as well. Alaska is like this sort of like, if you look at let me just bring up let me just there's the Rodin's mathematics. I could do a whole thing on that Rodin's mathematics. It's a really interesting thing to be looking at. Let me just find there it is there. You know, let me just bring up that chakra map which I've got here. So up on the top left hand corner you've got let me just move it across a little bit actually, so you can actually see it a little bit better, maybe. Okay, there you go, that's better. So you got the sacrum, which is in the top left hand corner, which is on Mount Shasta. And then you've got that red line there that goes all the way across and skims the bottom part of Alaska right across into the Russia, and then comes down towards the crown chakra, which is in Mount Kalesh. But Alaska, like in that ring of fire, seems to be that place that it's the place that acts as a valve as the energy flies into the ring of fire, because that's what the ring of fire is. It's like a hadron collider in a way. The energy comes in and it goes around and circulates, and the link between Alaska and Russia in that section there is like a pressure valve, which so it takes a little bit of pressure out of the system, but also allows to build up pressure to inject into it as well. Interesting place, Alaska. Very interesting place. So yes, Colin, lovely to see you here, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. Colonel Sanders. Yeah. We have to call the set. We call the channel the Spring Chickens. You know what I mean? Hmm. So, um, so Tina. So yeah, the emotional connection is what I've been breaking and working through and releasing. Yeah, I will be emailing you. Yep, do seriously, because we can go through each year and go through all the traumas. Because sometimes trauma is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, when you this is where some people are going to sort of think, land of 10,000 smokes. Wow, I like that, Colin. I'd like to go to the land of 10,000 smokes. You may be maybe a fowl, chicken fowl. Is that what we are? Yeah. No. What was I going to say? Yeah, it can be sometimes. You know, getting married can be a trauma, and for some people, obviously, we may look back and kind of go, "Do you know what? Should have never got married." Other people may look back and kind of go, "Do you know what? I'm so glad I got married." You know, I was over at my mum and dad's today, and you know, they've been together now for 60 odd years, and right old pain in the backside, the pair of them, love them dearly, you know, but right old pain in the backside, and they are so in sync. It's so lovely. It's like seeing kids sometimes. Really nice. So sometimes marriage can be like a, you know, all I would like to say is sometimes trauma doesn't necessarily have to be a nasty thing or a painful thing. It can actually be a really good thing, and it can trauma could be in just sort of like giving you a you know, a marker in your life that gives you a big learning lesson. So I have stunning carved. Okay, this is from Kevin. I have a stunning carved eagle, walrus's fire starter fossil from Alaska. Really? Wow, what's that? I like the idea of it being a fire starter. It's the prodigy, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's going back to the raving days. Yeah, eagle walruses. Wow. Carved eagle walruses. Wow, that sounds amazing. I bet it is, yeah, I bet it is beautiful, Kevin. You know. Yeah, so knowing our connections to energy and stuff like that is and finding your connection to it, I think in the future is going to serve us so much in the way that decisions will be made automatically, and therefore the people who are in tune with energy and are not using energy but allowing energy to guide them will be the people that look like they've got life sussed, and the people who are too busy, their head stuck in the steering wheel, of life and trying to earn money and be super rich or be super famous or whatever it is. I think they're going to come unstuck. They're going to find it difficult. They're not going to have Colonel Sanders' special recipe. When I get to meet you, Tom, I'll bring it to show you. Please do. Be absolutely lovely. I talked to Sim the other day about because I mentioned last week it'd be good to do an astroflower picnic. It'd be absolutely brilliant, and I'm thinking about doing it in the New Forest because obviously the New Forest is an absolutely brilliant place. So maybe we get a chance to meet then, Kevin. It'd be absolutely beautiful. It'd be really good to sit down and have a cup of tea with everyone. That'd be a great video, wouldn't it? We're all sitting around having a cup of tea, having this sort of open chat, and an open chat where we're actually physically all in the same place. It'd be really quite nice. Relationships are let me catch up on the comments here. I love seeing lovely elderly couples. It's a beautiful sight. It is a beautiful sight. Even when they're bitching. I swore on YouTube. Oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. Yeah, it is a beautiful sight. It's a beautiful sight to see. Relationships are about frequencies. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, that's true. Iron sharpens iron. It is. It's game. It's recognizing. It's game recognizes game, isn't it? Sort of thing. Chrissy, hello. How you doing? This week's astroflower reading was spot on for me, was it? Which sign are you again? Are you Capricorn, Chrissy? It would be great, Kevin. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it'd be absolutely brilliant, doing something. Jackie, thanking you very much. Absolute pleasure. Thanking you very much for that sort of support. YouTube doesn't give me any support. I'm shadow banned by YouTube all the time. I get to a certain amount of views. Once I get to a certain amount of views, YouTube just turns everything off and all my views stops. It's really weird. It's a shame because I love YouTube. You know what I mean? So, but thank you very much, Jackie. Thanking you very much, Jackie. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at some other messaging that came through. Scorpio, you're Scorpio. Okay, yeah, Scorpio was Scorpio's an interesting one this week, wasn't it? It was a very interesting one this week, I think, Scorpio. Yeah, it was very spot on, I think. I think Capricorn was very spot on as well. Virgo, I think, was very good as well. And actually, I think they were all pretty good this week. It was nice because I did have a week off because energy told me to take a week off. It didn't actually say take a week off. It said to me, look, you've got to recalibrate, where you're going and what you're doing, as it were. So I listened to energy and allowed it to recalibrate, which was absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I think a lot of the signs were so, felt really spot on anyway. And I'm glad it is good spot on for you as well, Chrissy. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, connecting to energy. It's the ultimate thing. It's the ultimate goal, really. Capricorn was amazing. Yeah, it was. As a Capricorn as well, it was amazing, and it's really it's strange when you're doing them weekly in. When I was doing this channel 4 years ago, when I started doing this channel, I used to do this sort of thing once a week, where I should sort of like go through all the readings that I'd done and kind of go, look how they interconnect with one another. And I tell you what, the interconnection between the readings going forward and the evolution on every sign is so in step with energy, really in step with energy at the moment. And it's been building over time, really has really been building over time. Absolutely amazing. About kicking procrastination to the curb and having some travel. Yeah, totally. Don't wait. Why wait? We could all get run over by a bus at some point tomorrow, couldn't we, Chrissy? So I wouldn't bother. Don't wait. I don't worry about YouTube. No, there's no point. I don't worry about anything. I say that to my kids, and they say to me, they say something, and I say, oh yeah, don't worry about it. And I say, well, I don't worry. There's no point worrying. Worrying is a waste of time. So yeah, I don't worry about YouTube. We'll have to change with the changes coming, Tom. Exactly. This is it. I'm convinced like that as well, Kevin. Totally. I think YouTube they're going to have to kind of go, you know what? Because I think they'll get in trouble at some point if they keep ignoring and just pushing like fear and sensationalism. At some point, people are going to get just really, really tired of it. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Kevin. You know what I mean? I do not worry about YouTube. If I did, I would have given up a long time ago. I think this interaction and engaging with people and seeing the evolution of energy within the world, it's just, I think that's the best thing about it. That's why I love doing it. That's the only reason I do it, really, to be honest. Money is an illusion, to be honest, to me. Anyway, and that sort of thing, So, Chrissy, how do you find your rising and sun signs when you don't know the time you were born? Yeah, that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one. Do you know, I was in when working in France, used to get a lot of people from Africa, from East Africa, from Senegal and places like that come see me, and a lot of people didn't even know their birthday. So, they tend to be given a particular day, like the 1st of November, whatever it was. And they kind of say, well, I was roughly born around there. And I used to really enjoy engaging with the people and kind of going, do you know what? I think November was not the right time for you. I think you were born there and everything like that. So I think that must be really difficult to find out your rising and sun signs if you don't know the time you were born. I think that'd be pretty difficult for you. Is there any way you can speak to your mum and dad about it, if there's a possibility? So I'm Scorpio sun, Virgo rising, Taurus moon. That's really good because your sun and your moon is opposite. I'm not an astrologer. I have basic astrology. All of this stuff that to do with the astroflower is born out of my healing days and doing healing and stuff like that. And Virgo in the middle. That's quite good as well. So that you've got that enthusiasm of Virgo and that caution of Scorpio and that determination of Taurus. That's a good combination you got going on there, Kim. Do you suggest you watch our rising and moon signs too? Yeah, do you know what? I do. I, the reason I don't advise it because I'm not an astrologer. So, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to advise people wrongly, or I don't want to advise people without having the ultimate knowledge, as it were. But yeah, I do, because I tend to look at mine. My rising is Cancer. So I'm a Capricorn with a rising of Cancer, which is absolutely perfect because it's just opposite. It's playing beautifully. A bit like Kim is it? Only your moon is in Taurus. So yeah, I do, I'm. But then when I do my readings myself, because I do listen to other people doing readings. There's a few people I listen to because I find them interesting. It's always good as well to get a view from outside. So when I'm doing the readings, I try not to get myself involved too much in my life. I certainly try not to get my life involved too much. So, but yeah, I do totally get that. I do listen to that sort of thing as well. Yeah, I listen to my rising and what have you. So yeah, I would suggest it, Lynn. Tina, Chrissy, you can't. I'm talking to my family and finding out the closest time. Yeah, it is difficult. I didn't know my my birth time till quite recently, really. I think it was 10 years ago that I found out. We're going to Crystal Caves near Byron Bay, and to sit on the large Hammersmith geode. Been a dream for a while. Is that where is that, Chrissy? Am I getting this right? Is that near Florida? I might have that wrong. Whereabouts is that? Crystal Caves sort of thing. But that sounds amazing. Give us a full report when you do. It'd be lovely. I've had the same issues, Chrissy G. Can't obtain my time of birth. Born in Jamaica, West Indies, and it's not on the birth certificate. Oh, right. Both parents are deceased, so I can't get an estimate either. Well, maybe we can dowse it, Rita. Let's have a look. When's your actual birthday? Give us your actual birthday and we'll have a look at dowsing it and see how it fits. Okay? And then you'll obviously have to go out and look and see whether it rings true for you. Okay? Frustrating, isn't it? Okay, well, let's Chrissy, you give us your date as well. We'll all douse it. Let's just douse it, okay? Colleen, so my original birth certificate has no time on it. How do I send you, what was that? How do you send me energy? How can I send energy to you? You just by being here, Colleen, it's absolutely beautiful doing your comments and everything like that, just joining in. That's great energy, absolutely lovely. Is that Misha? Is this your first time on here? I don't think I've seen you commenting before. Lovely to see you commenting, by the way. Welcome. T88. I'm born on the 19th of November. Sagittarius then. 1965. Sagittarius, Scorpio, you're saying? Oh, Scorpio sun, moon. I'm born at this big 60 this year. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. You know what I mean? I think everybody in here is no older than 5. We've all decided earlier on that we're spring chickens. Misha. Is it Misha? Misha. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Vito will be able to tell you how bad I am at pronouncing names. Both parents passed away, and I'm pretty sure that it was after midday and before sunset. Okay. And so you can go to a cafe astrology and use your moon as your time. You'll be shown your first rising. Okay. So did you get that? It says Lynn is Cap Sun, Scorpio Moon, Pisces rising. Pisces and Capricorn should be a pretty good connection because obviously Capricorn's got that fish tail. You know, looking at the Emephis, the moon is the only fast-moving planet, so you might be in luck. Okay, so that's, yeah, good advice there, I guess. Okay, so it's northern New South Wales in Australia. Is that where those were? It is. We'll give a full update when I get back. Yeah, please do, man. That'd be absolutely lovely. Yeah. So you're 20. Chris is 28th of October, 1971, Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, I'm not sure the Southern Hemisphere. Does the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere mean anything? Not sure if it does. So Vita, your date of birth is 1970. So 15th of the 7th. Okay, so you're looking for your time, are you? Let's just see about Vita's time. So okay, so Vita's birth time. Let's have a look. Okay. I reckon you were around about midday, Vita. I reckon you were born pretty much midday. Okay. You've watched for ages, first time commenting. Really? Car. Yeah, glad to see you commenting. Glad to see you enjoying commenting as well. You know. Yeah. Welcome. What did you ask, by the way? Sorry. I forgot what you asked now. Oh yeah, you're on the 19th. It says, and you know your year of birth, your time of birth, so it's easy for you to find out your rising and stuff like that. So yeah, Vita, maybe Colin wants to send currency. Do you want to send currency? Do you, Colin? I think there was a donation thing you can do. It's a super thing. Um, um, Someone else asked as well. I said I was going to get back to. I've been trying to sort out like a donation thing, but I'm pretty crap at that sort of thing. I'll have to sort something out. My birth certificate says so. Yeah, you know. But lovely to, yeah. So Vita, I reckon it's around about midday. Who was the other person who wanted to know that your time? I'll give you my, what I consider your time to be. I'll try and douse it. Yeah. Actually, you want to send me? You can send a super thing. The only thing with the super thing is obviously, I don't know much about it really, but I think um, you can do a super sub. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Kevin obviously knows how it works, and also um, um, Jackie knows how it works as well because she managed to do it. Chrissy, you managed to do it as well. I think it's a super sub. I'm not too sure what that all entails, Colleen, but yeah, it's something along that sort of thing. That's exactly what I did, Jackie. My moon is in Sagittarius. All right, so your moon is in Sagittarius. So does that sort of like hey, that's not far off that midday thing, as far as I can tell. Depending on where you're born as well in the world as well. That's also plays into it. But it seems like midday seems to be about right for you. I truly appreciate that. I'm amazed. Oh, thank you very much. Super chat. That's what it is. Super chat. Thank you, Mish. Yeah, super chat. it was me looking for birth time. Oh right, okay, sorry about that. Yes, so yeah, connecting to. Oh, why have I got that up there then? I'll say, there we go. I've managed to do myself so I can't actually see my comments anymore. There we go. That's much better. Right, now I can see them again. You're looking for a birth time, are you, Chrissy? Right, let's have a look at your birth time, Chrissy. So when was it? You were 1970, wasn't it? Is it? No, that was Vita. Let me just get back to Chrissy. Where were you? Frustrating. Blah, 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 blah. I know you're born. I know you're Scorpio. Let's have a look. Chrissy. So what time have we got here? I think you're sort of 6 in the afternoon, 6 in the evening, 5, 6 in the evening seems to be for you. And that's according to where you live, yeah? So I think I think you're about sort of 6 in the evening. 6 in the evening would be, might well be Capricorn. Might well be Capricorn, you know. I've been, so, you know, I used an emphasis, right, okay. In 1971, okay, 1971. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think it was 6 in the. I think it was 6 in the evening. Wherever where you are in the world. So that's got to be in accordance to, I don't. It's usually starting at Aries at midnight, isn't it? But I think that's to do with GMT time. So it's got to be according to where you're born. So it's the hours out, you know. So yeah. In the chat box. Okay, so in the chat box, look to the right. Is it show your support for the astroflower? Is that what it is, Jackie? Is that how it goes? Do you know what? I should know this, really, shouldn't I? Suppose so. I should know this, but unfortunately, I don't. I've been wanting to try dowsing for the longest time. Any tips for a beginner? Yeah. In my workshops, I give out dowsing rods, right? But by the end of the weekend, we've gone past dowsing rods and we've moved on to dowsing with the body. Everybody's dowsing with the body. We start off with dowsing rods at the beginning, and I would take with dowsing rods. Dowsing rods as well. Do you know what? My dowsing rods are in the car. I'll bring my dowsing rods to next week's live, and I'll show you how to hold them and stuff like that. There's a particular way of holding dowsing rods, so you can't turn them. You don't want to hold them. You don't want to hold them like I'm just trying to see if there's a piece of metal that I could use. There's not. You don't want to hold them like that. You want to. It's got to be rested there and there in the pivotal points. Those 2 points there, so that none of the other fingers are actually touching it. So you're allowing it to pivot and swivel anything you like. There you go, Jackie. Thank you very much. That's it. Is that the second one you just did? Man, it's beautiful to see. Thank you very much. I love it. Thank you. Really nice. You can get stickers as well. Can I? You're going into realms I don't know anything about. What are stickers? Is stickers like what is it? What actual bumper stickers? Are they bumper stickers? Bumper sticker, yeah. I'd like bumper stickers. An astroflower bumper sticker. Life is for living. Don't wait. So yeah, it was later in the day. Okay, so yeah, I reckon it's about sort of 6 for you there, Chrissy. Who else was there? There was someone. There's anybody else that needed their? Well, I'll give you a douse on the time. You know, of when when you're born. So it's yeah. Then it's where you are. If you put in that into on the internet, I think Freezer, you said what was it? Ast- Cafe Astrologer, the Astrologer Cafe or something like that. They do it on there. Leash, thanking you very much. Absolutely beautiful. Oh man, you're really touching here. You know, Cody, you're going to get an extra treat this week. He's looking at me as sort of like, really, really. Thank you very much, Mish. Am I? Oh, Coral. Oh man, Mish, am I saying it correctly? That's a sticker, is it, Coral? Thanking you very much, Coral. Um, is thoughts on cymatic frequencies and hertz resonance for healing. Yeah, okay. They had no chicken, just under spring roll. Um, yeah, cymatic frequencies and hertz for resonance for healing. Yes, most definitely. There's depending on what you want to heal or what effect you wish to create when you're talking with music and hertz and stuff like that. So Tina, I use hertz when I meditate. Okay, it depends. Yeah, exactly. It depends on. It's the same thing with colors and stuff like that. It depends on what you want to be doing or what you want to be trying to create as an energetic environment around you. Really. Um, so Tina Maria says, are there different tones for different types of healing? Yeah, there are definitely different tones for different types of healing. If you're say like if you've got like let's say you've got like kidney issues and so forth, you really want to be using probably earth tones as well. I haven't got my dowsing. I've got my tuning forks, um, and so you're probably looking at um, C, so or do re mi fa si la si do. You know, you're probably looking at that sort of thing. So there is different types of frequencies which, and when I'm doing healing, you do go through the periphery of different frequencies that run through your body. So when I'm working on, say, like arthritis in a body, it's much more intense as a frequency than if I'm working on, say, like the stomach, for example. Got to go, Tom. Okay, Cora, man. Send me an email of your address so I can sort of like try and help out with the energies for selling your house, getting your house moving on. You know, have I got a merchandise shop? I've got loads of ideas for merchandising. Yeah, I've got loads, but unfortunately, I don't know how to do any of all of this stuff. If someone wants to set up a shop, start up a business with the Astroflower doing the merchandising, you're more than welcome to. Just contact me and we can do something. I've got loads of stuff that I've got this particular type of healing thing to do with light and colours and also sound that I'd like to do. But merchandising. I'd love to do merchandising. But I can't do everything, unfortunately. But if someone wants to set up a business doing that, then give us a shout. More than welcome to. I'd love to get into that. So yeah, Coral, speak to you soon. Enjoy your week and everything like that. Kim, what tone should I use for a lower right pelvic area? Lower right pelvic area. So what? Are you talking about bone issues or are you talking about organ issues? There's a lot going on in the bottom right pelvic area. Are you talking about ovaries? Are you talking about, you know, what's that? Do chakras have frequencies dedicated to each one? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they do. But it's not. The frequencies are. They're not. They're not sort of frequencies that you can listen to. And it's not a frequency that the frequencies of energy are so slow, so low. I guess it's low, so slow that um, we wouldn't be able to calibrate it. Einstein said it perfectly. He says the problem is with, because he used to be a bit of a dowser. He says the problem with dowsing in astrology, because he used to like astrology as well, is that we don't have the technology to capture this energy so we can measure it. So it is the ovaries, yeah, exactly. That's what it's going. Yeah, it's the ovaries. Okay, so you really well, you want to be playing the opposite end of it. So you're looking at probably okay, so do, re, mi, fa. So you're probably looking at fa. What's that in C, D, E, F? Probably looking at F and G. F and G for that. That will help. That will help to sort of like stabilize it. If you want to push your ovaries, you're probably looking at a B minor, a B on the B scale in the way of tones. I talk in music, you know what I mean, rather than hertz. I'm going to look into dowsing rods and forks after the live. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, dowsing rods. It's the ultimate thing. And then we'll do a session. You know what I mean? There will be online. I will be doing. I could do a quick online course about dowsing. You know, a quick sort of like half an hour course on dowsing. Sounds like ovary humor, maybe a cyst. Yeah, it can be very painful down there. You know, so you got your right. It's your right ovary. Let's have a look on that. There it is. There is this complication that seems to be on the passing of the egg into the fallopian tube, if you know what I mean. There's almost like a nervousness about, you know, not necessarily getting pregnant. You know, that's not what I'm talking about. But it's an issue of that sort of like the continual spiral between parent, us, and kids, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Let's just have a look and see if we can just like loosen that up and free that off. There it is. There, got it there. Here we go. There we go. See how that goes over the week, all right, love? Tends to be emotionally connected between that sort of generational sort of thing. You know, that's the connection between the thing, and it can be worried about. It could, you know, getting at the same time this idea of being worried about having fun, and it's like, you know, kind of going, I can't have fun because I don't, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to leave my family, or I don't want to, you know, my family could be, you know, your kids could be having a hard time, or your parents could be having a hard time, and why should I be having a good time? Is that sort of feel right? You know, heat pack, etc. On the ovaries, yeah, yeah. Get the heat on the ovaries. You know, yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Kim. That's very nice of you as well. You know, healing's energy, I find, is more amazing, you know, than anything else. I find the energy much more amazing and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll do another day on that. Spot on, spot on. Yeah, this is it. Once this is what I'm talking about, the common sense. Once you can start getting in with the energy, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. You know. Um, so Yom. I like being called Yom. I sometimes sign off as Dom or Yom. When I get my old fingers and thumbs when I'm trying to do the thingy. Could watch you do your thing all day long. It's great to do. I love doing it. I'd love doing it all day. I could do it all day long. I found childhood traumas were linked to my productive issues. Yeah, I get that. Definitely, Chrissy. There was a long line of ancestral trauma that needed to be healed. Right. There is a generational sort of thing that goes on with it. Definitely is. So, yes, there you go. Do you know what I mean? We've been, we could be here all night. I'd love to be. I'd love to be. Thanking you all for being here. Really did enjoy the weeks live. It's always an absolute joy to see everybody. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. We'll do some thing on the dowsing thing, Lynn, for next week. Yeah, exactly, Chrissy. Yeah, we'll do a collective moment for you, Kim. Focusing on that ovary section there. Just everyone, just take time out. Just stop. Take time out. And there you go, Kim, for your ovary. Right ovary, we're looking at, people. Find its pinch point or its point of inversion, so we can invert it from something that's causing problems to causing solutions. Okay, and we just flip it over. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. Thanking you very much for being here, for doing all that. My legs and ankles really ache. Not sure if it's the limes. How you doing with the limes there, Frisia? No, Kevin, thanking you very much, my friend. Can't wait to see your walrus eagle. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Be absolutely beautiful, my friend. We will have a picnic. We will do a picnic soon. Ciao, Suli. Speak to you soon. Really do enjoy. Coffee on me. Thanking you very much, Chrissy. Absolute bliss. Absolute joy to you. We will be in America and in Australia at some point in the future, because I love meeting people in physical form. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Where are you going to do? When are we going to do a Zoom? Yeah, that's the other thing as well, isn't it? Hang on a second, I missed that. When are we going to Zoom? I would. Yeah, I've got to sort. I did have it sorted. We could do it for the October readings. Should we do that? Should we do a Zoom where we could do like an October reading for each sign? Live reading, and we can all sort of ask questions and stuff like that. You Frisia, you're struggling. Well, you know where to find me, Frisia. You know what I mean? Reach out and we'll have a chat and go through things. Yeah? Send me an email. Okay? Vita, thanking you very much for being here. Thanking everybody for being here. Frisia, Vita, Tina, you know what I mean? Zoom. Yeah, let's do a Zoom. Chrissy, thanking you very much. Suli, Nature, I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Absolutely bliss. I hope it's going well for you and your mum, by the way. How is it going for your mum, by the way? I hope everything's going all right. So, Mish, I hope I'm getting that name right. Coral, lovely. I think you've gone already, but I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much, Coral. Jackie, yes, lovely to see you, Jackie. So good for you, all your comments and everything like that. So good to see you involved. Lynn, absolutely beautiful. Thanking you very much, Lynn. Colin, thanking you as well. Absolute bliss to see you all here. Really good. So yes, I will see you all soon, without shadow of a doubt, in another reading or on another live. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to do more lives because I enjoy it. Seems like I can actually convey a lot more information to people because that's what I'm about. That's what I want. Because when everyone gets the information, it's going to make my life a lot easier. You know, when everyone's got it and we're all on the same page, it's going to make my life a lot easier. So thanking you. I'm thanking everybody for being here. An absolute bliss, an absolute joy to see everybody. Thanking you all. I will see you all soon. In the meantime, as it is, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.